Hey everybody, Brad with Full Spectrum Survival. Those of you that have been with the channel for a while know that we love to solar cook. There's nothing better than not using the resources that you have to pay for or that you have to go and cut down and just using what we have around us. Now we have the GoSun Sport, which is a fold-out solar oven. We also have the GoSun Grill, which is a larger, up to 8 people solar cooking unit. GoSun really revolutionized, I would say, the solar cooking industry by making something that was more mainstream. They made something that was easier to deploy. One of the things that I talked with Matt over at GoSun with, and I said, you know, I don't have a way to boil water and I'm having to affix my own way, which kind of violates the use of the GoSun, and it also has a potential to crack the vacuum, you know, or create a dangerous environment that it wasn't made for. And they said that they had something in the works. And so we have a GoSun Brew. Now this fits inside of the GoSun Sport, which is the fold-out one, and I haven't tried it yet. I don't know if it's gonna work, and I want you guys to see with me if it does, because if it does, that means that I can carry this with me or create my tea, create my coffee, just using the sun, which right now I'm using a propane stove to do. Let's take a look. So this is the unit itself. It is a pretty minimalist design. Made of stainless steel construction, has a silicone top here, silicone handle over steel, over metal, so that you're not gonna burn yourself when taking it out of the solar oven. I did measure how much water goes into this. You're at just over 1.5 cups before you get to the no spill line, which puts an angle on it just about like that. Haven't tried it yet. Let's put some water in it and see how it works. Okay, so one of the things that I see right away after filling it with water is that there is a small notch in the silicone cap here, and that does allow for a small amount of drip. This, I'm assuming, is so that steam can escape and you don't create a volatile condition where this could expand, or you could end up breaking the vacuum glass of the solar oven itself. So it's necessary, and I imagine that's why they suggest the fill line. And I'm just gonna go ahead and turn the steam escape valve backwards so that the steam is going to rise upward instead of, you know, going back down into the vacuum. Okay, so this is the Sport itself. Actually, it's so efficient at solar cooking that I left it closed up like this right here while I spent maybe 10 minutes shooting the other shots. And I brought the GoSun Brew over to it to put inside of it, and this was boiling hot. I mean, so hot. The deployment of this is really simple. Open the wings up, put it in the sun, put your stuff inside, and walk away. That's my kind of thing. It's just set it and forget it. So I'm gonna set this right here. We have a pretty sunny day today. I'm going to grab the brew and put it inside. Now, I think I'm going to give it maybe 10 minutes, I say, and I'll check on it and see how it looks. Okay, so I had to move one stump over. I had a little bit of tree cover, as you could see, moving in. I just checked this as I moved it, and I was up to a boil. I walked inside, a little bit of shade came over, and I went under. Let's take a look with the thermometer and see where we're at. Still climbing, we're at 207 right now. So it looks about 207 degrees. Definitely pasteurized, definitely safe to drink. I could have kept it at a boil if I would have moved into a little bit more direct sunlight, but like I said, I've got a little bit of cloud cover coming over. I'm gonna go ahead and put this into a pot and get a brew started. Finally, it's time to make myself a brew. It's been about, I'd say, overall 20, maybe 25 minutes. If you compare that with the time it takes to do it on a propane stove, if you're just using a pot, you're looking at probably 10 minutes. So definitely a little bit longer, but absolutely free energy. I've got my coffee and tea strainer here. This is what I use to make my camp coffee. I'm gonna go ahead and put some delicious Colombian coffee inside. Let's see, that's probably enough. And what I'm gonna do is go ahead and just pour my boiling hot water right over top of that. Let it sit for a couple of minutes. Maybe sit back, have a little chat, see what you guys think of the day. That's looking just right. I think I'm going to set up for a little bit of a time lapse here. Maybe see the sun moving through the trees, and let's see what we can get that's beautiful today. All right, well, took about a 15-minute walk, let the coffee brew. You really only have to let the coffee brew in a strainer like this for about 5 minutes, but I like a little bit of a deeper flavor, so I give it about 10 minutes on average. Took a walk down the hillside here, found a little bit of more mountain mint, which is great. Thinking about bringing that up and transplanting it with some that we have already transplanted up at the house, and I want to give it a shot and see what I think about the GoSun Brew's capabilities. Now, what would you need this for? Well, if you are using it just to become more energy independent, that's one need for it. If you're going to use it as an emergency preparedness item so that you can have a way to cook if your power's out, of course you need the sun for it, but that's another use. You could also use it just as an investment into yourself. Being able to put it in your car bag or your car kit for evacuations and have a way to get rid of pathogens in water that you collect. That's another use. But the use today is it makes a damn good cup of coffee. A little bit of the flaw is the spilling properties of it. There's no real clear indicator when you're at a boil. So far it's a win though. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope that you enjoyed sitting here with a cup of coffee with me. I am going to kind of take a look around, try to work up the energy to go and transplant that mountain mint. We only have, let's see, 3, 6, 9, we only have 12 mountain mint plants that we've transplanted here, and I'd really like to get some more. I think that they're great for their medicinal value, and we just use them in our everyday cooking and stuff. So guys, keep an eye out on a couple of things this coming week. One, for our Patreon members, we are putting out our daily survival link compendium. I spent the entire last 72 hours rewriting over 2,000 lines of code for it. Had some changes that needed to be made, some functions that needed to be rewritten, just so that it worked better for you guys. I wanted to give the name of what you were going into, the link, and I'm working on giving a synopsis or a summary of the following page to give you an idea of what you'll be reading. A new study just came out that says antidepressant use is linked to antibiotic resistance. Of course, the impeachment of the US president is a huge topic right now, and what could happen if that goes through. The economy is continuing to get worse, and there is severe fighting coming over Syria. Keep an eye on all those, along with the Ebola going on in the Congo and some newly reported spread of a novel bird flu in Asia. Keep an eye on those for the hot topics this week. If you have any questions for me, please email me fullspectrumsurvival@gmail.com. And from Kelly and I to you and yours, stay safe and keep watch.